moved out here in 1994, and I bought my first house in Wheat Ridge in 1997, and currently live just down the street from this hospital.
Most people you know growing up on this side of town, they were born here, they were treated here, they died here. My mother worked here for 20 years as a nurse.
Lutheran has been proudly serving the community of Wheat Ridge for more than 120 years now. So when we made the decision to sell this property, we undertook a process that lasted more than 4 years and commenced a significant amount of education and community involvement to help inform exactly what the community wanted to see redeveloped on this property.
The city planners knew that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to develop this area, and they went above and beyond to include as many citizens as they could in that process, to make sure that they understood what the citizens wanted and how they wanted to see this campus developed.
We heard pretty loud and clear from our community during the master plan process that they would like to see some affordable, attainable housing on this site if it redevelops.
I think when you're talking about the mix of housing that's being discussed for this site, it really is targeting our first responders, our police, our fire, our teachers, our nurses. It is the individuals that you interact with day in, day out, that you call friends, that you call neighbors.
They arrived at a plan that includes a wide array of residential housing types, and then concentrating within the parkways that exist today, higher densities, and allowing for it to kind of grow up into the center of that, but still maintaining that transition from the outside in, is going to make a really vibrant, exciting place to be.
I firmly believe that's why the ballot measure passed in November, where they asked, could we alter the charter to allow for a 5-story building, which is above what's allowed in the charter. And it passed overwhelmingly. And I think it's because everybody knew what was needed and what was at stake.
Everything we heard from the community is in the zoning. And open space and green space trails was one of those things we heard very loud and clear.
People said they wanted open space. So the city said, all right, we're going to dedicate 20% of this 100 acres to be open space. That's 20 acres. That's a lot of open space.
That is double of what we require for any other mixed-use development in the city.
Some of these historic landmarks here on the property, like the Blue House, the chapel, and the TV hut, are landmarks that tell the story of the city and tell the story of the commitment that we've had to this community for many generations.
Our community really wants us to preserve those, to respect the history of this campus. So the zoning will require that any future developer does rehab or renovate those buildings as part of this development.
You've got the clock tower behind me here, which is another piece of the history of the site that is priceless. You know, it's all iconic. We want to try and integrate all those things into our plans. We think it's pretty important.
Intermountain selected our developer partner as part of a long and comprehensive process that really evaluated each of the individuals on a holistic basis based on what they would do for the community of Wheat Ridge.
The developer that Intermountain has chosen is local and deeply committed to preserving the elements that are in that master plan that were informed by the citizens of Wheat Ridge.
They have a great track record in creating these types of communities within the Colorado market for the benefit of the community at large.
Anytime you look at the opportunity to redevelop a site like this, a site that's quite a bit of acreage, right in the heart of a community, you have a lot of economic benefits, from housing to mixed use to retail to restaurants and everything in between here to support Wheat Ridge. Will be quite the economic boost, to include the creation of jobs, the retention of jobs, and the ability for Wheat Ridge residents to participate in the future of its city.